the feeling I've been loving. Got to show you I've been thinking about you day and night. You're always on my mind. Since day one, swear I, baby, knew you were the one. Thinking maybe I could give a life guide to you. Wanna prove it. Got so much love. Please don't lose it. So let me give you it all. We can take it slow if you want. But all I know is I'm ready when you're ready. Are you ready? We ain't gotta do it all at once. All I need is touch. So baby, let me know. 'Cause I'm ready when you're ready. Are you ready? Just so you know, I always go with the flow. Time is a gift when we're two, boy. Can't get enough of you. I've been thinking about you day and night. Always on my mind. Since day one, baby, knew you were the one. So let me give you it all. We can take it slow if you want. But all I know is I'm ready when you're ready. Are you ready? We ain't gotta do it all at once. All I need is touch. So baby, let me know. 'Cause I'm ready when you're ready. Are you ready? Since day one, swear it, baby, knew you were the one. Thinking maybe I could give a life guide to you. Wanna prove it. Got so much love. Please don't lose it. So let me give you it all. We can take it slow if you want. But all I know is I'm ready when you're ready. Are you ready? We ain't gotta do it all at once. All I need is touch. So baby, let me know. 'Cause I'm ready when you're
now. The shots are through the wall, not quite hitting, and there's the kill. Cruz falls to Chew.
Ned puts his face in a giant hole to throw a smoke canister. Not how you do that. Every player on the side.
Play it down. He's not going to be able to. It's the frags. Down to the final win.
Some of those operators who can really give you trouble.
Just running to the side of Project Madness. They're now starting to retake all the way up through the mirror window, but there's one on highway. He gets called out.
Mr. Alexander leaves me without words because he's killing people left and right.
Rowdy, and now Chew finds himself left alone, brings it to the 1v1, shuts down that way as well.
Flame Bolt moves forward and it launches the bandit into clear and plain sightline of the Lion. That doesn't matter at all.
Very bad. He finds two. Can he kill both? He can. Butcher's just better. He is activated on the think of gameplay right now. This is why everyone loves Minka. Oh, nice shot from Butcher. He's going crazy at our squad.
Coming through, they didn't actually drone all the way up through and understand what the setup looks like. The library walk-ups are able to do things like just vault the site here, and especially with that sense wall coming out, really stop them.
It could be anywhere you can find the first one on the yarn for 5 seconds.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Xenon Gaming Series lower bracket semifinals. My name is Crisis, and I will be your caster for this evening. But I will not be alone, as I am joined by the amazing Mr. Ricky. Ricky, we've got two powerhouse teams tonight: Team Valence and the St. Louis Leviathans.
Yeah, these are definitely two of the teams that when I was looking at the Xenon Gaming Series this season, I thought they were going to make it pretty deep. And while they have so far, they've secured at least 4th place. But the winner of this match gets a little bit more. They get the title of at least 3rd place and a minimum of $100 to their name. So this is a money match for these two teams tonight. That's one best of 3 away from deciding their fates. A little bit of a story here coming out between these two teams too. I believe we've got some graphics ready to take a look over at. I believe it's the Leviathans coming up first here. So you can see just their entire roster here. A couple of big names on their roster there. Most specifically, in my eyes, I think we got to talk about Roe when you bring up the Leviathans. He's the group stage MVP, and that says a whole lot about his performance throughout this season.
Yeah, Roe's been absolutely incredible throughout the group stages, and it's carried over into the playoffs as well. But if you've been a fan of T3, T4 Siege for a long time, this St. Louis Leviathans roster is one that you're probably pretty familiar with. They play in a lot of leagues, they're pretty well known, and whatever league they happen to be in, well, they're generally at the top of their bracket and moving deep into the playoffs. So to have the league MVP and to be here in the lower bracket semis, I don't really think is a shock to many. And if they didn't get at least this far, Ricky, I think a lot of their fans would have been disappointed just because they kind of have that persona and that quota that they have to reach of, hey, we are a good team. We're kind of expected to play this way. And they've showed it so far. I mean, this is the rematch, though. They did lose to Valence in the group stage. It was the only match that they lost. So this is going to be a nice little kind of a rematch for them as we're going to slide over to their opponents of Team Valence and talk about them for a little bit. Roe being the league MVP is one thing, and that's great. But Psychics, Ricky, leading the league in kills with 49 and 2 1vx wins to his name. Another name to really look out for tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This Leviathans roster, I like to compare them to what you'd expect out of like a traditional LATAM team, where all of these players, all 5 of them at any point in time, could go massive for their team and really pull a round win out of seemingly nowhere. They're all very skilled individual players, and they're not only playing off that. They've got some very intricate setups that they've run time and time again, sometimes to a fault, especially against a team like the Leviathans that like to do their homework and research their opponents. But they've run these setups enough that they all know how to play around each other, and they're very well coordinated on it. So it's going to be a very interesting kind of clash of styles. The Leviathans are still very good at fragging out and playing around those strengths, but Valence definitely a very strong, aggressive team, and it's one of their highlights from this entire stage. And just even in the standings too, they were flawless in their group stage, not dropping pretty much any maps until they reached the upper bracket semifinals, as well as their previous match against Homeland where they dropped 1. We do have our map bans ready, so we can go ahead and and get those up here and find out what our battlegrounds will be for this best of 3 series. It looks like we're going to be starting on Cafe, which is Valence's map pick. That's an interesting one. We haven't seen too much Cafe this season, as well as Skyscraper, our next map. And we're ending on Villa, should we get to all 3 maps. So we end with something a little bit more familiar, but Cafe and Skyscraper, maps 1 and 2. Talk to me about that.
So Cafe, we know it saw that little bit of a rework a while ago, and after it did, it kind of skyrocketed in popularity, right? Cafe, before the rework, a lot of teams didn't really want to play on it, but a lot of teams right now would actually argue that it's right up there with maps like Chalet, Clubhouse, Oregon, and kind of the most played maps. It has seen a little bit of a fall off, especially again with that Chalet rework that we saw.
Right.
As Chalet has kind of moved itself up into the upper echelon of competitive maps, but still a map that we've seen played in Pro League. We actually got to see it today get played in the 6 major finals. So hopefully we can see about the same kind of quality of gameplay as we did from the pros as we do here tonight. Skyscraper, though, a map that a Skyscraper, a map that we also got to see today being played at the 6 major, a map that has kind of become teams' niche pick, right? Because not a lot of teams play it, but the teams that do play it and the teams that know it, they are punishing on Skyscraper, and Leviathans brought that punishment the last time that they actually played on this map with a very, very swift victory. So Leviathans picking Skyscraper, not that much of a shock, but I do believe we are about ready to get into map number 1 here. We are going to be, again, starting on Cafe, Team Valence. They will be on defense. What do you think? Let's get a little bit of pre-prediction here on operator bans. Who do we think we're going to see banned out here?
Yeah, that's a great question to ask, because Cafe is one of these maps where a lot of those traditional operators that you see banned a lot of the time, think Mira, Thatcher, those kind of operators, they don't have too much power on this map. The power of this map comes from the verticality it can provide. It's straight stack up and down. There's no other horizontal angles that you can go to here. So a lot of these operators like Thatcher, you lose some prevalence because you can clear things from above and below relatively easily. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like Thatcher slips through, and considering how strong Fink is, he might get banned out there. As I say that, though, Valence is going to prove me wrong. They are going to take out the Thatcher, so just kind of sticking with the traditional. It makes some spots, think like Pixel on the upstairs site, a little bit more defendable, as those projectile denial devices, the WMI discs, those Jaeger ADSs, you have to actually throw utility in them. You can't just turn them off from the roof, which is something that we've seen some pro teams doing when that operator slips through. The other ban is going to be this Flores. He's a very powerful operator. He's been kind of sneaking up in the ban rate, especially at the professional level and here in T3 as well, simply because of how strong those drones are. You can play it from a safe distance. You can blow up some very hard to clear spots, so it makes sense to see him get removed here pretty early on.
Yeah, Flores has quickly become one of my favorite operators to play on attack. 4 extra drones. And speaking of throwables, everybody's favorite German track star removed from the game. So that means Wamai is going to have to be very important here. We're probably going to see some Rooney gates as well to try to hold off on that pixel angle, like you said. It would be very surprising if we get to see an Azami being played as well, because that kind of has become the new pixel operator, being the Azami. But no, the last ban is going to be Valkyrie getting banned out there, and no cameras, which after her nerf, I mean, you know, you can't throw the cameras outside anymore. She does still have the nitro. As you said, there's a lot of verticality. So even after her ban on a map like Cafe, she still is a very, very potent operator to deal with. So we're just going to get her out of here and not have to deal with her.
Yeah, I think especially on Cafe, Valkyrie has so much power. Not on the site that we're going to see here first, which is the upstairs, but as soon as you start going downstairs, it's a really good tool to track the attacking progress through the building, to find where they are staged so that you can try and get in behind them. But we are going to start upstairs. It's the El Clasico of this map. Everyone's played this. It's the go-to in ranked, and we're seeing a pretty interesting take on a common LATAM setup, or at least originated out of LATAM, the cigar extension hold here. They've got their own take on it, right? It's Valence. They've got their own twist on it, and they're going to play it to death, and that's that shield plus reinforced hatch here in cigar. They showed this off the other day when they played this map. and it had mixed results, but it is their version of kind of trying to hold this red drop area, and it's a very safe way of doing it too. When you combine it with those holes on bottom red, it just makes entering the building a really large challenge for the attackers to solve here. And on a site like this upstairs one, where you don't have much physical ground in the building to work with, trying to keep those places for as long as possible and contest as much as you can is really good sight to see here from Team Valence.
Yeah, and like you said, this top floor site here has really become kind of the primary site. A lot of teams might decide to go down to kitchen, but we're going to see these mute jammers coming out here, and also the footholes there on the red wall. That is something a lot of teams have started to do, and actually it prevents the red drop because you can play somebody back there on the piano where they're going to be safe from vertical grenades underneath the depth charge nades. And as you can see, we do have that pixel player playing right there and trying to make everything impossible to be moved in. Wamai, though, going to be playing on these brown stairs. The motion sensor will be shot out, and I believe that's the knock taking care of that and making sure that be a little bit sneaky. It's going to be P. Loudy playing on the knock there. No Valkyrie cameras, but tons of default cameras to be sneaking past, and perfect operator to do it is knock.
Yeah, and just look at the time sink that this setup from Team Valence has caused. We're halfway through the round, and the only attacker in the building is the knock. That's not going to stop Waffle from picking up the opening kill in this series from that rappel. That cigar player that I was talking of so much about does get shot out from this stage window. So it's a good opening pick here from the Leviathans, but the time is starting to tick away. Wolf traded his life for almost 2 full minutes in the round, and there's still people playing around this bathroom pixel area. So 1 kill for 2 minutes is not a terrible trade to be making here if you're Team Valence. And you see the rest of the members try and start bailing out from this area. They want to fall back, they want to keep themselves alive while still shoulder peeking the area to make sure that Leviathans know it's not safe for them to walk in. But Sidekicks gets a little overexcited on that peek, and Rowe is going to claim him out there, and now Leviathans have a substantial lead heading into the last minute.
Yeah, that's going to be the MVP, taking up the top fragger of the league. Rowe, we've heard a lot about him, but P. Loudy, he's going to be able to land the shots as Rowe's going to get another one on the deflects. And it's all going to have come down to Lemon, but no, 2 right there in a flawless round coming out for round number 1 for the Leviathans. A fantastic textbook attack on the top floor of Cafe for round number 1. Valence really struggled there early on, losing 2 members, and just kind of all fell apart from there. Rowe, though, picking up right where he left off in that group stages and get up a nice 2K on the Finca. A controversial operator, to say the least, but a great play coming out there from Leviathans and getting up 1-0. Now we're going to be seeing them go downstairs, and this is that kitchen site that I talked about, that a lot of teams, again, they'll kind of decide top floor or bottom floor. Which one do we want to go to first? And they are choosing to go downstairs now to the kitchen area.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this site in a more competitive environment, specifically because you get more space to contest. The upstairs and the mid-floor specifically has lethal pressure into the site, so you can force the attackers to really come upstairs and try clearing you, because you can contest things like Bakery, the entrances from Bakery, into the site from that upstairs space, so you can control a lot of the map without being directly on it, so you can play a lot more upstairs, and it gives more power to that operator. You see Wolf playing, that's that Echo, that he's got those 2 drones. We've seen Deepak, especially on Rose, just kind of abusing the power of those drones and providing forward intel for your team, and especially since they banned out Valkyrie, it's a different way of kind of getting that active intel here, and so you fuel that information to players like Unstoppable, who are incredibly aggressive and very precise with their gunplay in their own right. You've got a real chance of making something work here, unlike Leviathans, who claim the opening kill against themselves. That's kind of what happens when you stack up behind the Monty and somebody accidentally clicks the left mouse button, but this Bakery clear, not off to a good start here.
No, absolutely not, and that's a huge blow, as that is going to be P. Loudy, the Finca. You lose your health boost, you lose the grenades, but you also lose that LMG. We're going to see the Frex playing on this Wamai. He's got to hold out. The Goyo canister was popped. Here come the flashbangs to try to burn him out, and the grenade from Rowe is going to come in and pick him up and take him out. So the first actual kill of the map going, or of the round, going to Rowe, and now we're going to see him on this Maverick start to open up some little peek holes here on this prep wall. There's still one more magnet behind them above the main door. They're going to have to try and get that before they throw any more projectiles and risk have them coming back at them, as Lemon playing right here behind the bomb chassis. He's going to be looking for the grenade that might be coming through, and Wolf. Those echo cameras that you mentioned are so powerful, but 4v4 with a minute and a half left here. We're going to have to see what they can do as the wall gets opened up. Leviathans are about to make their push.
Yeah, and a lot of the pressure here for Leviathans has to be assisted by Proxies, who's holding that window upstairs to make sure that Psychics can't stop them as they come in. And when you've got a Monty, it's a lot easier to get in. So this position here is known from the attackers. They know that Lemon's in this space, but Lemon's gun just a little bit too hot right now as he's able to take one kill for himself, and he's living against that assault from Monty, not able to push him out from the position that Psychic's getting the kill upstairs before Lemon grabs another for himself. This is looking a lot better for Valence, but Waffle pulls the pistol up. He's got to find 3 more on the Monty. That's not an easy task to do. You're a very clunky operator, and your position's given away at pretty much every point in time. And with this vertical play from Psychics here as well, it's kind of a last dance here from Waffle. He's got a flawless KD right now, and he spots out one player. He's getting a couple of tags, does get the down, grabs himself another kill on this round. That's significantly more kills than I've seen Monty get in the last year just as an operator. And he knows he has to contest this upstairs area as well. This is just some good game sense and map knowledge coming out from Waffle to know that he can't get in the site while Waffle's upstairs. Oh, excuse me, while Psychic's upstairs. But Psychics knows this too. He's going to retreat around to White Stairs. We get a brief pause here while Monty tries to figure out his game plan.
Yeah, with this short amount of time left, he does not have the diffuser in hand. He did manage to take out the Echo, so that would have stopped the Yokai drones. But in a 2v1 as the Monty, your chances of winning this are very slim. And there we go, Psychics going to finish it off as Valence is going to bounce right back and tie this up 1-1. But yeah, the Monty play kind of crumbled. Again, we had the early TK, which is incredibly unfortunate. Losing your Finka, so no health boost again, no grenades, no Gone 6, no LMG, no all the things that make Finka quite arguably the best overall operator in the game right now. And then you're a Monty in a 1v4. It was a valiant effort, though, from the Monty. Was able to get 2 kills with that pistol, but unfortunately, time and man count just playing against them. And we're going to see Valence here go to the eating and reading, as some people have come to call it, middle floor site, choosing not to go back upstairs. They did kind of get smacked around a little bit there, so choosing to go to their tertiary site. Do you think this is just kind of, hey, we have the rotation, we're just going to stick to the rotation, or do you think they really just don't want to go back upstairs?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both, right? It's good to keep yourself in that cycle of going between the sites, trying things out, especially when the map's just starting. You gotta figure out what works on the day and against your opponents. Sometimes those primary sites just don't feel good, and going to those tertiary sites can find you more rounds overall, especially when you're doing things like picking a zombie and Clash. Like, you get so much hard to contest space here, especially with Piano. We've seen it at the Major, especially, a zombie just being an absolute menace in Piano, being able to reconstruct all of the angles that gunfights happen on. So trying something like this that's very unique and out of the box can really help you get momentum back and lets you know how this tertiary site will play against a team like Leviathans, who are very good at trying to read into these executes if they can actually get in and stage for them here. Early moments of the round, though, just getting up to the roof, getting those initial drones in. The Clash now spotted out. They don't seem too panicked just right now, but a lot of that has to do with how much utility they have to deal with it. One of the best counters in the game against Clash is that Zofia that Proxies is playing, so if they're able to time those concussions with a good team member swing, you could see that Clash disappear here pretty quickly.
Yeah, also just the ability to huck a grenade directly over top of the shield, as the shield does protect from grenades, almost like the same way that Monty shield protects him from the nitro cells. And there we go. We're going to see those grenades starting to come out. It looks like those Wamai magnets have been picked up and put away. Just absolutely incredible. Look at this angle here being held. We're going to hear the Finka boost come through. LMG going to go ringing, and there's going to be Unstoppable as he gets Proxy, but Rogue right there for the kill. Waffle going to get one of his own, and Lemon taking out Rogue, going to be dropping off his peel out. He now goes down to Wolf. It's a 2v3. Things have completely flipped back and forth here in the early moments, and we still got half the round left, a 2v3. Valence looking absolutely calm, cool, and collected, defending this middle site.
Yeah, a minute about so left, but Leviathans have all of the breaching utility they could want if they can get past this Clash, and Psychics is playing Clash very masterfully. If you want to know how to play Clash competitively, this is it. You pick a spot on the map, you be a menace, and you keep yourself alive. You understand where your teammate is. In this case, it's Lemon on White, and you go play near them so that they can help be your gun in a sense. But with this much time being burnt out here, and the Clash still not dealt with, especially with that last explosive being thrown and not not connecting on her. You gotta feel like dealing with this clash in and of itself is a chore that requires 3 to 4 people, and this Azami barricade left over from the grave from the Prex really just lets Psychics even more so just block this pathway here. 30 seconds remaining, and the clash just still towering on them and calling out their positions to the rest of the team.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see Leviathans make a move here and rotate, and it's exactly what they do. Waffle and Chu, the two left alive. Chu gonna be taking a ton of damage though from Lemon, and these shocks from the Clash Shield might be enough, and it is. That's gonna be able to drop Chu. It's all gonna come down to Waffle flicking and trying to find a shop. There's no one there as Wolf comes swinging through, spear 308 in hand on the Thunderbird, able to finish it up and take 2 in a row now for Valence, as they have bounced back very well. And again, that was the absolute perfect clash play. We're gonna have a little bit of a timeout here, a little bit of a technical timeout, as there was a game crash. Unfortunately, you can't have a siege cast, Ricky, without some type of issue coming up from the game.
Yeah,
but luckily he's back.
Yeah, it is R6. It's not the best server side game. It's great to play, great fun to watch, and kind of break down here. But there are some issues with the server side. It's good that we got them solved quickly, though. Unstoppable is back in the lobbies. We're going to be going back upstairs. This is the site that we saw Team Valence struggle with the last time that they were in their rotation. Obviously, Leviathans being able to crack this with a flawless round to open the game. And I do kind of like what Valence is going on here. I don't remember seeing a Tachanka here before, but I really like the pickup, being able to deny those doors, especially towards the later part of the round, because if you remember the last time we were here, it took the Leviathans a minute and a half to get in the building, and if they're able to keep that kind of lockstep, as well as keeping their player alive a little bit more, you could see it be a really challenge here for Leviathans to actually enter into the bomb site untouched. And yeah, the Leviathans did change out their operators. Aruni is not being played this time. That operator that got caught out in Cigar, not anymore. They're just not playing it. I really like that change. If you got punished on it as hard as you did previously, don't go back to it, right? You're going to a site that you lost, the other sites feel good. Change things up here, experiment a little bit more, try and find what works and pick up this round.
Yeah, especially when you have a round advantage. I mean, worst comes to worst, they lose this round and it gets tied 2-2, right? They know that they can perform well on their secondary site and their tertiary site. So if they would happen to lose this again, it's going to be the last time they have to play it in this split. So yeah, like you said, go here, try some things, bring the Tachanka, bring the Echo as well this time. As I don't believe they had the Echo the first time around. They brought the Echo out when they went to Kitchen, but I do believe that the Echo was missing the first time. So yeah, give it a try. Waffle, we've all been there, but it's okay. We've all missed that hatch. Don't worry about it. Nobody is watching and or making fun of you right now, especially not the casters. But yeah, it's try things out. Tachanka has kind of, now that people understand how to play him, Tachanka has kind of not worked his way into the meta, but has become a playable operator to kind of be a pseudo smoke, right, with those fireball canisters.
Yeah, I love that you say he's like a pseudo-smoke. He takes one part of Smoke's job and does it very well, almost as well as Defrex plays this piano space. Look at those Azami barricades. Bro just didn't know which direction to look at. He's still recrafting them here as his position gets blown up. He's taking gunfights left and right, and he is eventually going to fall, but that's a minute burnt on the clock, as well as that Finka. You keep talking about it. Very important operator, and it feels like every time we're bringing her name up, it's because she's the opening pick here for Team Valence. So just losing that much utility over and over again, it really starts to beat down on your ability to sustain engagements and gunfights throughout this fight. That's some good drone work there by Leviathans to identify that echo cam and start contesting this pixel shield. But I don't know if you saw those silhouettes. They've got one player underneath here. He misses the nitro toss though. That was supposed to land in the middle of Cigar and claim 2 kills, but it'll get none for its time. Unstoppable does end up falling to proxies on that White Hall window repel, so Piano is now firmly in the hands of the Leviathans as Lemon falls as well. Wolf starting to have a lot of pressure on his and Psychic's shoulders here to make this round of Valence.
Yeah, I mean, Echo, though, one of the best operators to have late in the game is Psychics is going to come in and he's going to take out Waffle. The man with the most kills is adding to his tally right now, playing on the mute. 1.5 in hand, a very accurate gun, a very good gun for getting the job done. P. Loudy, very low health here. Also very low health as well. We see some yellow pings coming out here as Lemon is still down but not out. There's going to go Wolf. That's your Echo off the board. This is essentially a 1v3. Psychics going to have to clutch up here if he wants to get it done. Plant is going down in the default spot. We're seeing some yellow pings come out. Shots ringing through, but nothing able to connect as Psychics. Going to take a lot of damage, and Chu finally going to be able to finish him off here as Leviathans are able to bounce back now and tie things up 2-2. I think Valence is very happy they never have to play this site again for the rest of the split.
Yeah, I mean, they could end up going here in the future if they do win, but yeah, that didn't look too good. You almost would have rather seen Mining Dining come out of them. I think it's just a stylistic thing too, more than anything. Leviathans just look comfortable breaking everything you throw on them for that site, and well, this is where we need to see Leviathans kind of start bringing those adaptations we talked about from Valence in that previous round. You gotta change how you approach this site, and I'm not even just talking about that opening team kill we saw the last time we were here. Doing a bakery only push in 2022 is not the greatest idea for a lot of reasons. It's hard to get into bakery safely, and it takes about like a minute to just get in there. Even with the Montaigne, you saw them struggling to get past that Reliant for Frex previously. So yeah, it's hard to get into bakery, and then if you only have one person out on a window outside, you can't really contest these vertical angles that the defenders are going to destroy you off of. So I would like to see Leviathans kind of go for more vertical take with the operators they're bringing. It looks like we're going back to what they showed us previously here, which is just that bakery only take. So maybe they do think that a lot of that previous struggles that they had was just due to that initial team kill. The run out, not successful from Unstoppable. He's going for another one though, and P. Loudy reads into that and is able to pick up the opening kill for his team this time. Not a team kill. Unstoppable gets shut down pretty early on.
Yeah, and finally we get to see the Finca actually do a little bit of action there as P. Loudy was able to take out the Vigil of Unstoppable, and the Frex, he's going to be taken out now too. P. Loudy, he's heard us talking all the smack about Finca players. He's going to get 3, a triple coming in for the Finca. We're going to get a little bit of a health boost here and bump everybody back up. Very quickly, it's down to Wolf and Psychics, 2 very, very good players, but when a 5v2 with 2 minutes left, things are not looking good. And Psychics, he's going to be able to get one on the proxies. P. Loudy, though, he's going to get a quad. Is he going to be able to get the ace? It's all going to come down to Psychics. Case is going down. That's 2 with the plant. Monty out roaming around in the hallway here. He noticed Psychics. Well, he does now. Yellow ping's probably coming out. We're going to see a grenade get cooked inside there by the sinks area. Potentially throw it over top, but it looks like Sledge has decided to pull off instead. 30 seconds left here, and Psychics is going to have to do something, and Waffle's going to take the ace! Oh, Waffle, how dare you? That is just rude. But a massive, massive round for Leviathans, able to take it out, and P. Loudy with that 4K. I think they hurt us. Talk about the Finca.
I kind of agree with you, man. Yeah, I feel like we haven't been justified in talking about Finca this much, but that's why we've been saying her name, right? It's just the things you can do with that operator. You get the adrenal surges, the LMG in your hand. You're allowed to make those bold plays to say, you know what, I am just going to step up here and tear my way through Prep and K1. It's just some beautiful gunplay as well from P. Loudy to hit all of those shots. It looked like it was almost effortless for it. It was smooth as butter for him, and they looked really good while doing it, so I asked for adaptations. Apparently not dying and just kind of brute forcing your way in is the only adaptation that Leviathans needed to make there. Now we get to go to another site that they really had problems with, and the last time a lot of those problems had one name, and it was Clash. So it's just going to have to see how Leviathans can deal with the Clash. And a lot of Clash's inherent counterplay is teamwork, cross angles, and utility. And on a map like Cafe, you can't get in the building and you're struggling to get enough space to deal with the Clash. Yeah, it can be a real problem to remove her from a space like Piano. So it's going to be like this clash of map spacing and utility here against this Clash, and hopefully this time we get to see a little bit more excitement there.
Yeah, and the 3 biggest counters to Clash, really, right? Sophia, Capital, Nomad, right? You could argue that maybe throw a Gridlock in there as well, and obviously Thatcher, but Thatcher's not... He's not allowed to come play with his fellow operators, but none of that being brought. So we're going to see a Lion, so no Sophia, no Capital, and no Nomad. Choosing to bring the Lion instead. We are going to see this very similar setup here with the Frex playing on that Azami and holding what has kind of become a modified Pixel, but oh, he shoots Psychics in the leg. Gonna do a little bit of damage there, but it appeared there was a Kona station that's gonna be able to get Psychics right back up. He was going for a drone and ended up shooting Psychics in the lane, but luckily there was that Kona station there from the Thunderbird to be able to heal them up, and Unstoppable, he's gonna be trying to get some shots in as Rowe looking to add to P. Loudy's kill thing on the frag. We are gonna see that Wamai Magnet pick up that grenade, but the Frex is doing a lot of damage, and eventually he's gonna be taken out as Waffle gets another one in there. Now the Clash has to fall back. She's lost her gun. Now has to work her way back to Unstoppable, who's playing on the Wamai as Lemon is going to be taking out Proxies.
Yeah, that's just some good droning and teamwork utility going on there. Unstoppable now fighting for his life, and he's not going to be able to play much for it. Almost falling to Rowe there on that side angle, just missing a couple of shots here. And now we get to see Clash really struggle. You're at a man disadvantage here, and that shield is not a gun. It gives you information to empower those guns, but you're down 2 full guns in this situation, despite only being down 1 player here. So this information that Clash can provide really has to sing forward here for Valence. And well, it does a little bit as the Psychic switches over to that SMG, that pocket SMG that Clash does have. It's a vertical play, not quite good enough to find Lemon, who sneaks out. He's running back through the open, and Waffle can't find him. So an opportunity missed there here, and the clock now starting to tick away, and Psychic should just go back to the shield before Chew grabs another one here onto Lemon. So that player dodging around all the bullets eventually runs into them, feeding into Super's KD and Small Tower if you're Khaled or Jacob, and they find these players hiding out underneath. The vertical prowess from Leviathan starting to shine forth, and they're recompensing themselves for their previous mistakes. And now Psychic's in a 1v2. He makes it a 1v2, excuse me, from that 1v2 position. He's starting to peek out here. This is not the gun you want in this situation, though. Chew's starting to plant Waffle to cover. He's staying around outside the door, and Psychics is going to fall. And that's a 4-2 opening half here for the Leviathans, and they started to get themselves that momentum going for them here. They had 3 in a row coming to their defensive half.
A 4K by P. Loudy, followed by a Waffle 3K in back-to-back rounds, equal back-to-back round wins for Leviathans, who after being down 2-1 have won 3 rounds in a row. And we will now be going to their defense here. A very, very strong half for Leviathans, about as good as you can kind of want. Right? You're always shooting for at least a 3-3. A 4-2, though, is kind of where you want to be, regardless of what side you're starting on. And Cafe, you can kind of go back and forth, right? I personally feel like Cafe is a bit even between the attackers and the defenders, and I'm sure the statistics would probably prove me wrong because I don't go on Reddit very often, but I just know from my own experience from watching it and from play it, Cafe seems very even. Speaking of things being even, this hatch being opened up here in the dining room is an interesting call, but you look and see who they have on defense here. A little bit of Mozzie action. No, he does have the mute combo, so the Mozzie mute combo coming out once again as we're in the kitchen for the first time for Leviathans, choosing the bottom floor instead of the top floor. This is kind of what I talked about. Teams kind of go back and forth on what is their favorite site, and Leviathans choosing to start kitchen this time.
Yeah, I did go ahead and look it up because I was curious myself. At the recent Berlin Major, Cafe is actually attacker-sided. It's 45% defender win rate, but so it's pretty even. So yeah, you'd expect that 3-3. So Leviathan's getting this 4-2. Not incredibly surprising here, but another piece of statistics for you. We've got about 70 to 80 people watching, and if everyone brings at least around 1.5 friends to come watch the stream, come to Grand Finals, we could see our producer Andrew come on stream with a maid costume, and I think that'd be pretty cool. So go ahead and get your friends in here. Yeah, the round is now underway, though. Yeah, they are starting kitchen. I really like this site. You get to contest the whole building, and look at those silhouettes there from Leviathans. They're all the way up on the 3rd floor. They're not giving Team Valence any space in the building here. It's going to be uncontested. P. Loudy in his position to take the initial gunfight. He's just going to step off, feeling like his position is compromised. And Rowe as well going to start dropping out here. That's a minute burn on the upstairs part of the map. And, well, the site's in the basement, so getting that much time on the 3rd floor is a really good look here for Leviathans to start their defense.
Not only did they waste a full minute of time for the attackers, they didn't lose anybody. And Rowe is actually going to start it off with a nitro from below. A fantastic play there coming out from the Mozzie. Talked about him a little bit before, but Rowe living up to his status. It's just an absolute gunner and getting that early kill, and that's a big one. It's on the Jackal, so Romer's going to be a little bit more free now as Wolf got that LMG in hand. He's going to be doing some with the Frex. He's going to get swung by Waffle. He's going to get his head removed as now we in our 5v3 with just over a minute left here. Unstoppable going to be coming through Zigzag and trying to do anything to help his team out, but We close into a minute. 5v3, things are not looking good for Team Valence.
Yeah, they do have some utility at least left in their pocket. They got hard breaching charges, plus these fuse cluster charges to try and disrupt the positions here of Leviathans. But this kitchen site has a couple of pockets that you can exist in that you just can't really efficiently clear out there. So they are going to have to at some point make a push happen here, and they're just using this time and their last remaining drone in the pocket of Wolf to try and find where these defenders are positioned and make their execute work. It looks like they're going to try and stack themselves down the hatch. They don't have too much time to go for. They've got 2 adrenal surges left, so they can at least have some extra health while they're going for this, and the drop comes out. Loudy reads into it, and is a very aggressive position here, picks up Unstoppable to signal the end here of the round. The hatch finally being dropped again by Lemon, who's got the diffuser. The smoke blocking the vision just a little bit more, and P. Loudy grabs himself another. Wolf can't swing in 5 different directions at the same time, and that's another Leviathans round. That's a very good round from them, too. It didn't feel like they were phased at any point in the round, and I'd honestly compare them now to the CSGO, or if you remember back in CSGO, there was this thing called the Virtus Plow, where once they got going, it's very hard to stop. And well, Waffle and P. Loudy have certainly found their stride, and trying to interrupt that now, Valence is going to take their time out and try and pause this momentum here on Leviathans, because right now it looks like they're just being run over.
Run over is putting it very, very politely. It is a 5-2. They've won 4 rounds in a row, and I gotta be honest with you, Rick, the rounds haven't been that close. There was the 1v2 situation there where the Clash may have been able to get it pulled off, but even that was a 1v3 situation where the Clash was able to get a kill. Leviathans have just turned it up to 11 here in these last 4 rounds, and they're like, you know what? Hey, we got punched on the chin a little bit. Let's turn it around. We had the massive 4K and the 3K coming out in back-to-back rounds, a flawless round that time. They also had a flawless round in the first round, which they won. So just going absolutely huge for their teams, being there for refrags, getting the drones, like you said, the drone work there in the pixel area in the previous round on attack. They are just clicking after those first 3 rounds, and I don't know, man. Valence is going to have to do something big here because Leviathans just seem to be steamrolling at the moment.
Oh yeah, they're definitely a scary momentum right now, and you gotta wonder where these guns are from Valence. You got Deep, Deflect, Wolf, and Unstoppable. No more than 4 kills between all of them, and those are some of the players, I believe, during the group stage that I had on the tip of my tongue constantly, especially Unstoppable. He was known for putting these lights out, like 17 kill performances, and to see him start off this quiet, it's a little bit concerning here, but he's got himself onto the Finca now, and if there's ever an operator to get yourself reactivated and back into the game, you gotta feel like it's her, at least in the current meta, until some of those nerfs that were teased this morning start coming out. But yeah, we are going upstairs here for their second defensive round, and I'm a little bit confused as to why they decided to go here over reading. I feel like a lot of their success on that kitchen defense was how well they could play the map and contest a ton of space, and you get more space to contest on those mid-floor sites, but maybe they've got something going on here. We see these holes in bottom red happening again, so that's their kind of way of denying the entrances here. So they are making themselves have positions to be able to deny these entrances here. And Team Valence, well, they took their time out. You gotta win this round. You don't want to have the other team sitting on match point for 4 rounds.
No, absolutely not. You know, right now, Valence can afford a mistake or 2. But if Leviathans get to match point and it's a 6-2, Valence now has to play perfect Siege. 0 flaws, 0 issues. And quite frankly, that's hard even for the absolute highest tier of player, let alone T3, T4 players. So they definitely want to try to get a little bit of a bounce back here. As you said, Unstoppable hopping onto the Finca. There used to be the old adage, right? If you're not feeling your shots, play Ash, because Ash will be able to get you kills. Finca has kind of definitely taken over that role. You've got an LMG, you've got grenades, you've got all the tools you need. Waffle, speaking of, has the worst gun in the game. They're going to be taking out Psychics. It's a UMP kill coming out from the castle to Frex. He's going to do a lot of damage to Row and eventually get the kill. So that will be Row off the board. So they will be high up man count here, but let's look at the time. 1.5 minutes. Half the round gone. And almost no map presence for the attacking team of Valence here. And as soon as I say that, P. Loudy going to be taken out by Wolf.
Yeah, that just feels like the name of the game upstairs right now. Is it getting into the building is harder than clearing out the site. Now that Valence is starting to get some feet on the ground, you gotta feel like they're gonna pick up the tempo here, especially with the clock ticking away. And these aggressive positions still being held by Leviathan, switching over to the SMG-12. Not the greatest gun to have in your pocket, but it's better than nothing. Waffle grabs a second, that worst gun of the game, dubbed by Canadian. Not being true here. Unstoppable grabs one for himself. It's good to see him be reactivated and bring the man count back into Valence's favor here. Under a minute now. These players on the roof have got to get in the building and start working their way forward. And some of these leftover castle barricades dropped there early on in the round by Waffle are now starting to get into their way. Along with this pixel shield, it just hasn't been dealt with so far. They haven't been in a position to even contest the shield, and if Waffle can make this pixel angle work for the side of Leviathans, you gotta feel like it's going to be lights out here for Team Valence, but he's gonna fall off of that, valuing his life over that position as Lemon and Unstoppable starting to sneak their way through into these default sites. Waffle spots the cross though, so that position is going to be known. Is he going to wallbang the box and go for it? He's actually gonna step out into the bar area and get the wide swing. The Finka doesn't turn around in time. The worst gun of the game goes huge for 4. He doesn't get dropped though, so now it's Chu into Frex in a 1v1 situation, wrapping around through backstore, and Chu is better on the round. Leviathans to match point. The timeout not working out for Valence, and now they have potentially 4 rounds of almost flawless siege they have to win on their own map pick to make this game go in their favor.
Yeah, that's what you call a bit of a throw. You have you have 2 guns that they're not necessarily known for their killing potential, right? You got the UMP and you got the EBR in the hands of the Aruni. So you have a single shot DMR and you have a UMP up against a Habana, a Finka, and I believe the last one was a Sledge. 3 very good operators with very guns and tons of killing potential, and you lose the round. You get wide swung by a castle who gets a 2-piece, and I just... Listen, Leviathans, a fantastic retake there coming out from the last 2 players alive. I believe it was Chu and Waffle, the last 2 alive. Waffle, by the way, at 14 kills. The only player in double digits at the moment. No, excuse me. P. Loudy has 10, so 2 members, Leviathans, with double-digit kills. But what an absolute retake coming in there from the Leviathans. And quite frankly, Valence, they, like you said, have to now play Perfect Siege, and that last round was far from Perfect Siege.
Yeah, look at these operators Valence is bringing out here too on a reading attack. It kind of feels like they're getting desperate for map control. 2 very powerful space-taking operators, Sens and Ying, making their debut here in the game. And I don't know how I feel about those 2. I haven't seen too much of their use here on a reading attack or just Cafe in general, so maybe Valence has something in pocket to make it work, but they're trying to venturing into the unknown here, unexplored territory, and well, sometimes in the T3, T4 space, consistency is more important than innovation, and we'll see though. They might have something that just makes very much sense here once they start getting into the building here, but a minute burnt and absolutely no contestions happening here early on. It's not a good tempo to see Team Valence break out at the start, but they are starting to get themselves in the building, and I don't know if they know too much about this pulse that's underneath them. They're staying safe for right now, but that information game from below is just impeccable, excuse me, and that pulse scanner is just going to keep going, but he does get taken out. Sidekicks did read into that, so that's a very good read for Valence, and they get themselves a much-needed opening pick.
Yeah, that's a huge kill. You lose the cardiac sensor, but you also lose a nitro cell. So 1 nitro left. Really the only true plant denial is going to be on Chu, who's playing the mute. Couple of impacts left, but as we all know, at a health, the impact will not kill. It will take both of them, and the radius is a little bit wonky sometimes as well. So Valence, definitely huge on that pick. We're going to see some drone work coming out here as Lemon going to be opening it up Fireplace Wall, the left side of Fireplace Wall. Proxies, he's right here though, ready to go, ready to shoot anybody who comes through. Gonna hear that wall get opened up, and it looked like the Habana had hopped into the train, but Rowe is gonna be taken out by the Frex as he gets 2. He's gonna get 1 on the Waffle. Proxy gonna be able to take out Lemon though and bring it to a 2v4. Proxy gonna get another. The UMP going absolutely insane for the Leviathans tonight. Wolf going to be moving through his proxy, going to be taking a bunch of damage, 417 in hand, but 2 is right there with the shotgun. Unstoppable and Psychics is going to have to do it. Unstoppable gets 1, he gets 2! Valence back and forth, but finally, after round and round and round losses, Valence are finally able to bring it back and get a W, a much needed W. We said they needed to play Perfect Siege. That may not have been perfect, but it was very, very close.
Yeah, this the coordination, I think, from Valence is definitely something that's been lacking, and they kind of brought it out in that round. I was getting a little nervous for them. Going for those dining plants is not the easiest thing to do when it's specifically set up like that kill box style. You have holes everywhere. There's too many angles, and that's why they brought the Sens out. And it's really, really important that they got those kills on the impact operators upstairs, because I don't know how familiar people are with those Sens interactions, but the Sens wall is destructible to explosives, so you can impact the wall and it will fall. So bringing down those impact throwables to let you kind of get into the site a little bit more was a very important pickup there, and it's just good for that confidence too. These players, Defrex and Unstoppable, who have been pretty quiet on this first map, starting to wake up is a very good look for a team like Valence that is known to be these fragging styles. And now we're heading back to a site that Leviathans flawless Valence on previously. We're going downstairs to kitchen here, and with how many players of Leviathans we have all over the building, it's going to be a lot of this roam clear game from Valence, which is why they've opted into bringing Jackal. Normally not a particularly good competitive operator, just because he doesn't have too much utility along with him, but when you're struggling on roam clear, there's no one better to bring along.
You could argue Lion Dokkaebi, but anyway, the thing with Jackal, especially on a map like Cafe, that sidearm shotgun, the ITA 12S, I believe it is, 12S for short version. So you're going to be able to do a ton of vertical destruction here. A poor man's Buck, if you will. And speaking of, the Frex is going to be playing Breach Daddy, as he is now known. He has the ability to get through soft and hard walls, so he's the ultimate flex breacher, in my opinion. Rowe going to be exchanging some words there with the players up top and decide to just kind of back off. And there we can see that mute being picked up by the Jackal footprint scanner, and looks like the default cam was already shot, so he's just kind of content to sit here and hold this angle and see if anybody comes out of reading Unstoppable. Holding in this pixel area, well, he drone out Waffle, who's playing by White Stairs. Like it, no, the drone actually went down through the hatch, it looked like. Waffle, still unknown here on the White Stairs.
Yeah, one of the things that I look for when I'm coaching or doing analysis for the team is drones versus time and space taken. And well, look at that drone count in the top right from Valence. We're halfway through the round and 8 of the 10 drones have been destroyed. So they've got this Jackal, but they're going to be operating essentially blind here as they go forward. It's 1 minute and 20 left and 2 drones on 1 player to find where 5 people are positioned. That is a tall ask. And I think these players on Leviathans have started to read into that style of how much intel they've really denied. Look at them, they've all given up this mid-floor control. 2 minutes gone, that's pretty good. And they're all alive on the first floor here, so the pressure has been put into the hands of Valence. They have to make this work, and they are not succeeding so far. P. Loudy, look at that kill he got too. You talked about the discount buck, how about just claiming the regular one? Defrex falls first here for Team Valence, and that's a lot of soft breaching potential off the board.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons people will bring Buck is because Sledge is a little bit vulnerable to those nitro cells. You know, you have to get very close to where you're trying to break. With Buck, you can kind of do it from a distance. So a little bit odd to see the Buck be the one that gets taken out by the nitro, but he is gone. And now we're down here to 30 seconds. A grenade going to be coming through, and it doesn't get any damage. The track signal's coming out, but those toxic babes, oh no, we're going to hit the boost and run into the toxic babes. It's going to do even more damage. You go through there is P. Loudy. Going to be trying to do some damage of his own. Shotgun in hand as Lemon takes a bunch of damage himself. There's P. Loudy. Rowe gets one, and Chu gets one in the smoke as well. It's a absolute bloodbath as Waffle finishes it off in a fantastic round there for the Leviathans to finish it off. We have a very, very dominant Leviathans team here. Just absolute, again, dominance, destruction, violent speed, momentum, whatever you want to call it. A fantastic setup from the Leviathans here. Taking map 1, which was Valence's pick. I want to remind everybody that was Valence's pick. It is only map 1, though. Ricky.
Yeah.
This is a best of 3. I don't think Valence needs to like freak out or stress out, but they are going now to Leviathan's map pick of Skyscraper, which Leviathans pretty good at.
Yeah, I'm also concerned on a different level too. Just look at how that game was played from those two teams. The Leviathans, so good. Droning, coordination, utility, everything felt there. They only had a couple of hiccups when they saw the operators like the Clash the first time, but overall, they had really good problem-solving capabilities, and they understood what they needed to do to get through certain areas in the map. And Valence, well, yeah, they were struggling in the kills department, but it also looked like they were desynced a little bit. We saw some life from them, so I don't want to say like they've got nothing going for them here with that reading attack, especially. It felt like they had started communicating a little bit better, and even in that last round, they lost it out, but their roam clear was more succinct. They didn't lose people super early on. They got through the building a little better, so maybe those pieces are starting falling into place. But on a map like Skyscraper, if your communication and utility usage is not perfect on the attack, you are going to struggle to get past those drum shields and just those players in Geisha. So I'm a little bit concerned for Valence, but I think they can pick it up, especially since they've got this break that's coming up here. We're going to be heading to that break ourselves here momentarily. Map number 2 between Valence and Leviathans is going to be Skyscraper in a couple of minutes, so don't go too far, and we'll be back then.
I'm feeling like we run this town. Your song is on the radio. The one you always like, the one that always gets you psyched. We've been drinking all the cheap wine all night. Acting stupid, but it feels so right. I know that we will all be just fine, but tonight I just wanna dance it off. Ignore the world with me tonight.
Welcome back to the Xenon Gaming Series lower bracket semifinals. We had just an incredible map one there between Valence and the St. Louis Leviathans. The Leviathans did manage to pick up Valence's map, and now we're heading over to Skyscraper and Valence. It's the pressure's on them. They've got to win this map to send us to map 3. My name is Mystrierik. I'm joined here with Krysis. Krysis, what are your initial thoughts coming into the second map here?
My initial thoughts are Valence have to play. So the round that they won, which would have been round 9, they have to play a lot more rounds like that one on Skyscraper, or we're going to be going home very quickly, because the Leviathans, when they play Skyscraper, they play it very, very well. So if you guys thought that the play on Cafe was good, you're in for a treat, because Leviathans kind of treat Skyscraper like their playground, right? They are kind of the kings of Skyscraper, especially in Xenon. So we will be hopping into the map here relatively shortly and getting right into these operator bands. Ricky, who do you think we're going to be seeing here?
Oh, that's a good question. This is a very, very defensive bunker style map here, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see the exact same attacker bands come out, in all honesty. Flores is just insanely powerful on this map, as well as Thatcher. Those EMP gadgets are not in the game yet, and being able to keep those walls shut is very valuable, but instead we're going to see Nomad get banned? I'm going to be completely honest, this one confuses me a little bit. This is not a map known for its flanking potential. There's not too many routes you can go for that are actually behind the attackers, so maybe Team Valence have seen some footage on the Leviathans and they know about something specific they do, and Thatcher does get banned. That, very importantly, leaves Flores in the game, so expect to see him have an incredibly high pick rate here, especially from the Leviathans, who are starting on that attack.
Yeah, so I would actually tend to disagree with you about the Nomad flank watch thing. There are 3 sets of stairs on this map. You know, you have the main stairs. We're gonna have a Mira band, so no surprise there. We have the main stairs, you have the back stairs, and you have black stairs. So, but also I think the more important thing for Nomad, what is Skyscraper known for? Runouts. So many opportunities for runouts, and I think the Nomad ban is more of an anti-runout versus a kind of flank watch type ban. We're going to see Kayed get banned out as the last operator here. So once again, we're going to have Valence on defense starting out, Leviathan starting out on attack. We saw how good their attacks were on Cafe. Will they be able to bring it through here onto their map of Skyscraper? Just have a few short seconds to find out. We will be going to the top floor. We're going to be going over to the meeting room instead of the traditional kind of karaoke tea room instead. No real shocking operator differences. We are going to see Unstoppable on the Valkyrie. Skyscraper is a great map for Valkyrie cameras. Lots of little nooks and crannies to be able to throw those things. It's a map that also, there we go, we see that one right there. It's also a map that is suited well toward an operator we haven't seen all night, but that's Zero. Being able to shoot those cameras in places for flank watch, you know, is something he's very good at. We might get a little bit later, but instead, we're going to see the ultimate red light, green light operator and Lion be brought out. He's going to be playing a knock as well. So those Valkyrie cameras, they're going to have to be working overtime to be able to spot the sneaky lady, but see how well they can do that as Row right back on the Finca.
Yeah, you talked about that Nomad ban being more so for runouts, and well, when Team Valence is going for this APAC clash, this walkway extension, we saw teams like Sandbox and Damwon Kia really make this their own play space when the map got reworked. You use the clash to extend onto the balcony, and it really forces the attacking team to consider clearing the map from the crossover, because you can't actually walk up on this balcony anymore. So this Leviathan's attack is already being initially contested outside of the building on that long corridor. So Leviathans definitely have a lot of work to get in front of themselves here if they want to get themselves in the building on this attack. And you see them kind of changing their initial approach just a little bit. They're going underneath instead of directly to it. And when they've got this many frag grenades plus the buck, it does make sense to see them going on this angle and just throwing those nades at the ceiling, those depth charge style of attack. But yeah, Proxies gets a little swift of this clash positioning, and there's not too much you can do to contest this position, especially with the Lamai being the operator behind him. But the Frex does get dropped, so they do read into that cover. And now Sidekicks is kind of left on his own out here, and some flashbangs coming out to burn those Lamai SCD is going to have to step back. So for the time being, Leviathan's successfully contesting this balcony.
Yeah, doing that, but the Frex though will be taken out by Proxies, excuse me. It's going to be Lion doing a lot of damage. So man count is going down, but look at this, Proxies just sitting here and eating some of this damage from the shock shield, the CCE as it is, and all the flashbang coming in, but get that thermite charge on there. It looks like it's going to be able to stick and stay as Lemon has now moved up to take the spot of the Frex and kind of be the gun. Psychics going to be swapping off though. Breach has been opened up. Proxy is going to be taking a lot of damage here. Looks like another flashbang going to be coming out as you see one of the attacks now moved up. And that's P. Loudy all the way to Drum. Going to hop onto the Hell Presence Reducer. Try to get a little bit of a kill. See what they can do. Oh, going to be spotted out by the camera as the Hell runs out. It's now going to have to relocate. Unstoppable, can't get it done. P. Loudy going to be able to get a nice flick and a headshot. Put him 5v3 with 40 seconds left.
Yeah, the execute stage of the round going to have to make its fruition here for the Leviathans, and with Waffle grabbing that kill, it's looking dire, but Lemon gets one back, so Valence not out of it just yet. Lemon gets 3 from out of nowhere, and he's left himself into a 1v2 situation, so he is going to have to find the clutch here and an ace to make this round work. Those initial tags not going in his favor, but he is able to reposition himself over towards the shrine side of the map. He's able to go for this long haul journey. His epic begins here as he's got to find his first player out on the balcony to get these numbers back in position. But Proxy's holding a very tight angle, and with Chu as well also out on this balcony. These players from Leviathans just very disciplined and holding angles, and they're going to hold them to Lemon's death. Proxies picks up the last kill. That Clash extension, losing 2 members in there behind it, it's a little concerning when that's your setup and it gets picked apart that much, but that's just the skill Leviathans have on the day, on this moment even, just the momentum coming forward from that previous match, that teamwork and coordination as well to break apart such a very difficult to break strategy. It's very well played to Leviathans to get that first round, and we're going to see Valence do something they didn't do on the previous map, which is repeat the site immediately after losing it.
Yeah, I think they feel like, you know, they knew what their mistakes were the last time they played this site last round, and I think that they feel like they might be able to fix that. The one thing, though, that is kind of baffling is you mentioned the Clash, right? Clash is an operator, much like Monty, that really thrives when you have someone to play off of her, right? You kind of need that extra gun, and that's what we saw the Frex do. And then, of course, we saw Lemon come up as well on the Alibi to be able to kind of play that. However, Leviathans have only struggled against the Clash one time in 11 rounds. They struggled against the Clash. I don't think it's working out for Team Valence, and if this round it doesn't work out again, they might have to think about a strategy shift here. Maybe bring a different operator, maybe change up their style, move sites, do whatever it is that they're going to have to do, because they just can't seem to make that Clash work for them. And quite honestly, it might be better to just bring another.
Yeah, it's also, I think, a little bit concerning that they're not confident in their karaoke to go there. You said it's a very popular site, and while the play rates and win rates do support that as being a very good competitive site, and the fact that they're not willing to go there and instead choosing to go with the exact same strategy that didn't work previously, I think that's a little concerning. It's not the end of the world, especially when Wolf changes how he's playing the game. That's a bandit trick we did not see previously, and it's one that finds success here. So that's one of the thermite charges down, and well, he's the only hard breacher being blocked by Leviathan, so no redundancy in that department means that they have one breach charge now to open up these walls, and maybe Valence can use that extra protection there to their advantage, but instead they're going to remove some protection. Defrex does get Cho, but he also removes the Clash, and so Leviathans don't even have to worry about that. Defrex does get traded out, though, and Leviathans now maintain that man advantage.
Yeah, just, again, the Clash is just not working. That's much like the play we saw there on Cafe, where play behind the Monty. People stack up and they get killed. Lemon, though, going to be able to get one on the P Loudy, so that's a good kill there. He's going to fall. That's going to be your Yana off the board. Proxies, he's going to be able to get Wolf. Oh, Lemon, he's just going to run out and get one for himself. It's going to be a 2K so far. Unstoppable playing behind the shield. Red Ping's coming out. He's going to be able to get the swing onto the Finca. No, he can't. As Rowe going to be able to finish it off, and it's all going to come down once again to Lemon. Minute 15 left here. Plenty of time. Great gun. He's going to be able to get it done. No, Rowe instead going to be able to play from behind the shield with that Finca LMG. Put up Leviathans 2-0.
Yeah, and I think that one even more so is just very concerning. Think about how that round went. The Thermite wasn't able to open any walls into sight. They bailed on their attack and just started running in the building on the other side of the map. And they just made it work. The only player on Valence who's got any kills on the board right now is Lemon. And you need to start picking up that pace. You've got to have these players start waking up and get more going for them. I stand corrected. Defrex does have one, technically two if you count the kill he got on sidekicks. But yeah, these players on Valence are just being really quiet right now. And well, considering the stats on Skyscraper, this map is supposed to be insanely defender-sided right now. And we're just not seeing that come out from Valence. So maybe they're just uncomfortable in the space. And I do like that we are seeing a different site, but I'm even more concerned that the site we're going to is Barbecue Kitchen. This is usually a tertiary site, and for a lot of good reasons. Sure, it's a large site, first of all, and you got this upstairs space that you have to contest, and, well, when this isn't the site, you don't have as many resources up here, so it's pretty straightforward for the attackers to come in and clear a lot of this space.
Yeah, there's a lot of vertical play here, so you're going to be able to stay upstairs, get a little bit of shotgun work done. You see they're bringing the Frost, an operator who kind of thrives on a map like this, maps like Villa and Chalet as well. Anywhere there's a lot of window jumping, Frost is kind of your nightmare playing on those maps. It's going to make the attack a little bit more cautious. Whenever hopping through windows, they're going to have to either look down or look at the person that is staring at them through the window. So, great operator to bring on a map like this. Rowe, however, he's ready to go, leading the charge. P Loudy right behind him. That Yana probably going to be sending out the hologram here in a second as kind of like a feature. But no, actually, Rowe's just going to swing. And he's going to be able to kill an Unstoppable. Oh no, that's going to be your Legion off the board. Psychics, though, he will be able to get one on the proxies, and that's going to put Maverick off the board. Maverick, grenades and M4 gone, but minute gone here. 4-4. Things not looking too terrible for Valence. They're going to have to keep moving if they want to get this round win.
Yeah, it's a very large pick there from Valence, too. They got the Mav off the board. That's 2 nades, and very importantly, that breaching blowtorch. So these walls up here from Valence are going to be a lot harder to remove, and now we kind of reach a little bit of a stalemate as we see Psychics just sitting behind the shield that does need to be cleared. And that operator that we talked about a little bit in the operator bans, that Flores isn't coming into fruition here, so they're going to have to just do it the old-fashioned way by chucking nades at it. Luckily, they did it pretty swimmingly, so Psychics is forced down the staircase, but now we've got some other problems with that Maverick being gone, the position being held here by Wolf a lot more secure, and he sees the foot through the drone hole. Don't know if he quite registered that. Oh no, watch your feet, Shu! You're gonna die for that. Wolf grabs another one, and for the first time this game, Valence have a man advantage.
Yeah, fantastic play. Rowe, though, he's gonna tie it right back up and take out Psychics. That's just siege things. This Wolf with a great kill there with that shotgun. P Loudy, though, he's got a grenade in hand. Waffle, he's going to be able to take out Defrex with that nice headshot. And all going to come down to a 1v3 is Rowe. Going to be able to get a triple kill. Lemon, the last alive in all 3 defensive rounds so far. Let me alibi to the Frost this time. 45 seconds left. So does have a little bit of time on his side, but 3 strong members of Leviathans, Loudy, Waffle, and more importantly, Rowe on the Finca still alive. This could get spicy very quickly.
Yeah, the name of Chala, the clutch minister of Rainbow Six, has been invoked with this Frost play here. The hatch drop is coming through now, and that drone does find the position of Lemon, so it's given away, and this allows the vertical player to narrow down the angles they're looking at, but Rowe just gets him through the wall. That's a 3K for Rowe on the round. Just some great entrances there from the side of the Leviathans. They were able to solve a lot of those problems that came up with the Maverick being gone very quickly, and I think that's what we're talking about. We're talking about about this coordination, adaptation, and just teamwork that we're seeing. They encounter problems, new problems happen, and Leviathans are just so comfortable on this map that they're very quickly able to solve those problems, and that's really what you're looking for in a good team. We're going to see another site come out here from Valence. We finally get to see that karaoke site, and hopefully we get to see why maybe they aren't comfortable playing out here. We're seeing another operator that I actually really like here. It's that Azami. And you talked about how this map is really good for Valkyrie because there's a lot of little knickknacks and things that you can throw your cams in and around, and that same principle applies to Azami. The more just garbage there is around that you can throw those Azami barricades into, the more cool angles and positions that you can make out of the middle of nowhere. So Azami definitely an operator that's got a lot of power that she can bring on this map, and Leviathans are going for what I believe is going to be the APAC version of attacking this site, which is just coming through that top black space. You take in down below, you walk the Monty upstairs, and you brute force your way into that karaoke corner, and I don't know if Team Valence is going to be ready for that style of attack.
Yeah, like you said, this is a very APAC reminiscent style of attack here. Waffle going to be breaking out the Monty, so, you know, hey, if Valence can bring a shield operator, Leviathan can bring one too. However, we're going to see Defrex here playing this Goyo up top, and that will kind of stop a Monty from moving anywhere, because he doesn't move quickly, and the last place he wants to be standing is in a giant fireball. However, it does look like they're just going to be pushing right in through sight here, as I believe that's Proxy on the Zofia outside with Waffle. Just going to be getting ready to push right in here through this main hallway, and the door could be problems for Valence if they get in here and really start to anchor this down. Stoppable is there to engage, and Lemon eventually get a nice crossfire, but they're going to pull off. Proxy going to fire some shots, not find anything. 2 minute gone, though, and again, no map control from Valence.
Yeah, Pete Loudy grabs the opening kill as well. Leviathan's just so good on those opening kills today, and we get to see this Monty push start to work out here. Unstoppable is completely trapped, and with Pete Loudy cooking this nade from below, you gotta feel like his days are numbered. He does get one before he's traded out by Pete Loudy, but the space has already been gained, and the Monty play is, well, surprisingly good, blocking so many bullets there. The vault is good, though.
Ooh.
Lemon grabs, or excuse me, Wolf grabs one, and Lemon grabs another, so this Monty now kind of trapped, and then a zombie barricade's behind Monty. He can't exit the building now, and he's in a 1v3. He grabs one to get itself opened up here. We've seen this Monty play today, grabs so many kills, and he's got 2 more to find if he wants to make this round to win. He's got 1:10 to work with here, so he's going to kind of slow down the pace just a little bit, and with Wolf's health, this could be doable. That Nitro Cell does a ton of damage to the Monty, though, so, I mean, Waffle grabs one. It's a 1v1 now. If he gets a lucky shot here, he's got the information, too. He's also Monty. He can close the distance if he wants to try to go for that melee bonk. Lemon just playing around the time here. He knows he's got a little bit of advantage in that department. He also knows that the Montaigne is a very slow operator, so the pressure's really on Waffle here to make this engagement work. Just kind of playing around, keeping tabs on where Lemon is, but he's never going to be able to plant here. He's got to start closing this distance and choose the gunfight that he wants to go for here. Of course, the Montaigne shield does make noise when you extend it, so you gotta figure out what you're gonna do here. Just a little bit of ring around the rosy is where we're gonna start right now. Lemon repositioning there, does manage his way back into T. Waffle just they're just running circles around each other at this point, and Waffle finally unshielding just a little bit. He's gonna put it right back up. We're doing a little bit of a dance here. I think he's trying to draw the bullets out of Lemon's gun, and right for now it's working. Lemon not landing the shots out. He's got 4 left in the mag. He's gonna try and get the reload off, but now he's completely empty. Waffle not able to find the opportunity there, and Lemon finally ends the standoff, and Valence get their first round on the board.
I agree with you. I do believe that they were just trying to bait out the reload, right? Because you could see when the reload happened, the Monty dropped the shield again and kind of hip-fired the last couple bullets in through that soft wall. So I do agree with you. I believe that's what Waffle was trying to do there, was bait out all the rounds with the constant shielding and unshielding, and then making the alibi have to reload. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for the Leviathans. However, if you're a fan, you are very happy with what just happened, because this is the first sign of life that Valence has had all map. Did have to come down to a... Well, there was a little bit of a throw, right? A 3v1 versus a Monty. The Nitro Cell did a ton of damage. I don't know how it did that much damage to Monty when he was looking right at it, by the way. That's interesting, to say the least, but an almost throw coming out there from Team Valence. However, they did manage to get it. We're going to go back across the top floor over to this meeting office area. Try to hold it down once again. No clash this time.
Yeah,
Something that I had said.
Yeah, that nitro damage is coming down to the shrapnel changes they made a while ago, the penetration through the floorboards. He essentially took all that damage through the floor that he was standing on, which is depressing to think about if you're a shield player, but nonetheless, yeah, that clash not being brought out here, I think is a very good turn of events. You get the extra gun, try and take these gunfights a little bit early on. You see players like Wolf as well contesting downstairs, which isn't something they've really done so far. I think it's something they really need to do, and so I'm glad to see Wolf trying to explore this space, as well as Unstoppable, who last I checked was hiding out around that karaoke side of the map. So it's good to see that kind of lurk style going on there. They didn't get the bandit battery, so no trick gonna have to happen yet. Defrex finally grabs an opening kill here for the side of Team Valence. So it's good to see them get on the right footing here. They played the site 3 times. This is the first time they've had a definitive advantage at the start here. And now with Rowe getting dropped as well, at least to the DBNO state before he's finished off by Wolf, we have a good chance that Valence can finally win the site they played as their primary.
Yeah, and taking out Rowe on that Finca is an absolutely huge play. We talked about it a lot on Cafe. Do not want to lose your Finca early, and Leviathans have that problem as Wolf has no problem taking out Waffle. A nice little headshot there, and that's going to give him 2 kills on the round. It is a 5v2, and this is the first real time that Valence has looked just comfortable and kind of dominant here. Chu going to be trying to peek in through the window. Wolf holding here on the main stairs, and they've got a minute and a half left, so plenty of time, right? There's still plenty of time for Valence to make something happen. Proxies, he's got that LMG on Capital and the firebolts and the smoke. We got flashbangs on Chu. Just have to wait and see what they do as we count to a minute 15 left for the attackers.
Yeah, the clock is continuing to tick away. Neither of these Leviathans members in the building until Proxies jumps in just then. They're still trying to clear out this first floor space, and well, think about the journey ahead of them now too. There's 5 members of Team Valence kind of swarming this area back on the mom site and its nearby adjacencies. These members of the Leviathans don't really have an easy way upstairs. It becomes slightly easier when Shu finds the head of Wolf, and these floor bangs trying to come out too. They're trying to clear the path here so that they can get up the staircase, but that position from Unstoppable is incredibly difficult to deal with, but they have some tools here to do it. You see them start to queue those up. The flashbangs starting to come out, as well as these capped out firebolts, not quite expanding enough to clear the corner, and that nitro cell from Unstoppable is going to kill Proxies. So now Chu in a position where he's got to find the other 4 members and complete his ace if he wants to win this round. But with 20 seconds left and people swinging you from 2 different directions, it's a very tall order, especially with that gun of Thermite. The clock continuing to tick away. Lemon dumping his mag down the staircase as well. Chu just kind of bailing, taking some time for himself. I don't think this is a terrible idea. Take a little bit of a brief respite here. Let your team talk just a little bit more. Figure out what went wrong, especially since you know where Team Valence is going next. They're going to head back to Barbecue Kitchen, grab an extra couple of seconds to talk about that round, and get yourself ready to go there.
Yeah, you got like, what, 15, 20 seconds left. Pull off. Give yourself a pseudo-tactical timeout, right? Kind of talk things over with your team. Hey, what happened? How did we die? Where did everybody just die from? And, well, we know what happened. With the kind of went insane there and got a couple really nice kills. Again, the big one onto the Finca. But I agree with you. I think pulling away, it does kind of give that time. It's like, hey, you know what? We know where they're going to go. They're going to have to go down to the kitchen area. We kind of stomped them the last time they went there. However, they stomped them the entirety of the first 3 rounds. And these last 2 rounds, Valence has kind of bounced back, right? They're playing a lot more better. They just look comfortable on Skyscraper. And this is a map that I don't really think they play a lot. We'd have to look through the statistics through the season. But if it's a map they don't play a lot of times you'll see teams kind of feel each other out in the beginning. So if you split 3-3 here on defense, it's not the end of the world. And they still do have a really good chance of doing that here. But they're going to have to tighten up this barbecue defense. They know how Leviathans are going to play. They know how they're going to push. Getting rid of that clash has been huge. They've won every round since they've gotten rid of the clash. So I think it's clear they're obviously stream sniping, Ricky. They've heard us get rid of the clash, and they did.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta feel like it's just not working at some point, right? You get a team kill off of it, the people peeking behind it just aren't in sync enough to go for it. And there's a shotgun behind this door, and I don't know if Leviathans know that this is here. It looks like they do. They're pre-firing it, but Unstoppable gets the pump off. He grabs two, he goes for three! Unstoppable just denies the entrances here, and Leviathans went for a sneaky play that they haven't really tried so far, trying to just force their way into the building. And while the shotgun says no, that's a little bit of a stronger force. One of those unstoppable forces meets immovable object. And in this case, the shotgun reigns supreme. That's a very bad start here for the Leviathans. Well, that lead started to dwindle, right? They're down in this position where they lose this round, and they're in a very good spot to end up losing it off that play by Unstoppable. You're in a 3-3 half. I mean, sure, you're on the attack, and you probably are happy with it, but you could be going for more. And, you know, this is one of those rounds that if you end up losing the map, you look back on and you say, what if we had made a different call? But Chu grabs one, so it's not entirely done just yet. Wolf swings around the corner and drops Chu, so that's another player on Leviathans gone from this round. It's now all on Proxies. He's got the time to work with it, though, if he can make these 1v1s happen.
Yeah, it's a 1v4 situation. We can see, here we go, backing off again. He is going to have to pick up the case and try to move in here and get the work done. The Frex has been killed, so no more Gumines will be thrown out. But as you can see, just like last round, the defenders have now swarmed back to the site or very near the site, playing a little bit vertically. We see some... Oh, come on, Prodigy. You're better than that. Kind of treating this again as a pseudo timeout. It's going to be 3-3 here if Valence can pull this off. And honestly, they kind of deserve it, right? Unstoppable living up to his name and getting 3 shotgun kills, just being an absolute menace there. They had 3 very good fragging operators there trying to kill him. But that SAS shotgun, it's a lot like an anime. The more you believe in it, the more powerful it is. Proxies, he's going to have a long road ahead of him here, down to just over 30 seconds. And things not looking good unless you're a fan of Team Valence, in which case it's looking very good this round.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about that unstoppable play, right? Those Finka, that sledge, that knock there. And I think it's also, they knew he was there. They knew he was in that spot. There was a gunfight they chose to take, and the fact that he worked against Intel and found 3 people, just incredible. It's some good gunplay. Proxy's typing out in chat that he's going to save him while his position says that that is going to be accurate. So the side of defense here for Valence does get recovered. They do end 3-3, and considering the start that they have on this map, that's a very good scoreline for them to reach. It's what you hope for. It's the best of the worst case scenario there. And well, 3-3 on the half, not too bad to go for. But think about Skyscraper. This map is defender-sided, one of the most defender-sided maps, pretty definitively. And well, you know, you talked about Valence maybe being a little uncomfortable on this map, and a lot of that uncomfortability really shines on attack if you're not able to coordinate things and you're not able to solve these problems that we could see the defenders start to set up here. We're going to see Exhibition Office as Team Leviathan's primary site as well, so both teams kind of enjoying that. I think very noticeably here, Leviathans, they left the clash on the sideline starting round number 1 here, so maybe they have a little bit of a better shot.
Well, the Leviathans weren't a team that really tried to utilize Clash a lot, so it's probably just not something that's in their arsenal or in their repertoire, to fancy to say it. But instead, we're seeing kind of a more what you would call quote-unquote standard lineup, right? The Aruni, not really surprising operator. Alibi, not surprising. Mute, Smoke, Wamai. These are all operators that have very well sunk themselves deep to within the meta kind of core combination of defenders. So they're definitely playing a more traditional style of this hold here over in the office area. We are going to see a little bit of a potential for a rush with the Monty Lion Finka combo. But normally if there was going to be a rush, you'd probably see a blitz. A little bit better at rushing in than a Monty is, but it'll be interesting to see how they can use it. We saw Waffle for Leviathans try to use it and just about win a round that definitely he should not have won, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can pull off here, as the Frex will be the one moving up that long extended exterior corridor and try to get the job done. He's going to drop the case though, just in case he does.
Yeah, I actually really like the Monty here, specifically because it lets you get up on the balcony here, and well, you see how many Valence members are on this area. They were definitely expecting more of gunfights to have been taken getting up to that space, but it's a very nice depth charge there by Lemon, who was actually trying to remove denial from the wall, I think, but he ends up getting a kill for his money, so that's a pretty good look to get there, and Rogue gets one back there, so that is an evened out trade overall. With a minute off the clock, the wall open, plus this Montaigne, these members on the Leviathans have got to start coming back, and you see a lot of them have started to make their way back, except for that one straggler of Waffle, who's just a little bit slow, waiting for those stragglers on the other side of the map. So yeah, the members of Leviathans kind of having to bail on that setup here, and that's the power that this Monty is bringing. It's forced Leviathans to abandon so many reinforcements, so many open holes and deployable shields by just simply not going there. So they've kind of circumvented a lot of those problems that this map can have by going for a little bit more niche of an attack.
Yeah, this Monty gonna have to be very careful when trying to back out of that ace opening because, again, as most of you know, those smoke canisters are very deadly to a Monty if they stick in them, but it looks like Wolf is actually going to be sticking the plant here as Monty is going to be holding the angle for him. Oh no, he moved! He Loud is going to be able to get one, Rogue gets one, and now the Frex. Here we go, taking a ton of damage from that smoke. And it's going to come down to a 4v2 Leviathans. And the man early hasn't really affected them. They've been able to hold on here. Losing proxies on the mute, which, yeah, you're losing a nitro cell, but the gadgets have probably already been placed. Chew, one smoke canister left. Waffle going to be able to get the kill, and it's all going to come down to the man with the most kills in the league, but least kills on the team right now. He's going to be able to get one. Like, 3v1. Can he get it done?
He's got some time to work with here, so he doesn't have to push the envelope a little bit too fast here. He's repositioning up towards this terrace door, and he's gonna, if he ends up going through that door, he's gonna have a player on his left and right, and this reposition here as well from P. Loudy is just establishing all the crossfires that Leviathans should need to close out this round. So just kind of poking around, see if you can grab anything, but P. Loudy's gonna shut the round off there. And you gotta wonder, with Valence opening up their attack like that, where was the cover and the communication in on their side? They've been doing a decent job bringing it back on their defenses, but when you're covering a plant with a Monty, he doesn't have a gun. It's the same problem that they were having with Clash. When that player doesn't have a gun, how do you protect what you need to protect? So I'd love to see Valence kind of put the shield idea on hold for now and try and just do this a little bit more traditionally here. And speaking of traditional, we finally get to see that operator that we talked about slipping through the ban phase. Flores is showing up finally, and it's on a karaoke T attack, so it's a very good sight for it to show up, as there are a lot of shields and positions you have to break. But I think it's very notable as well that Leviathans have brought 2 counters to Flores, Mute and Mozzie, so it might not be the easiest task for him to accomplish.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very hard for Flores to get any kind of real work done. However, it's like I've heard pro players say, even if you do lose the Rotero drone, it doesn't destroy anything. It's free intel, right? You get 4 extra drones of free intel that are going to be destroyed anyway, right? You don't get to drive these things around for forever. They're going to blow up. They're going to detonate. Would you love to be able to take out some kind of utility with them? Absolutely, 100%. But if you get a little bit of intel, everybody knows Siege is a game of intel. The more knowledge you have, the more powerful you are. So you have 4 free drones. If you lose them, you were gonna lose them anyway. Mozzie can't drive it around and control it, so it does clear a pest for a regular drone. Might be kind of used for that, but we're gonna just have to wait and see. 30 seconds in here, and Valence just now kind of rappelling up. We also have the Osa being played for, I believe, the first time. That shield is gonna get pinged out here by Psychics. Unstoppable. Here we go. The first Tarot. What's it gonna get?
I think it's going to try and work its way up black. This is their way of dealing with that top black shield that we saw. I believe it was Chew playing behind. It's not going to quite reach the distance on that, not good enough, and there might be a mute jammer somewhere in the area as well. But yeah, that Osa being brought out, I think, is a little bit of an interesting take on attacking this site. Obviously, it's to try and get these shield plays on the window. You have the karaoke one already set, but it can also pivot over to that top black space and give a little bit of a more concrete landing area for these attackers here, as dealing with this utility utility from the side of Leviathans is not the easiest thing to do, and Chu's playing it very expertly until he just strafes back into that grenade. So it's a free opening pick handed to Valence, and Unstoppable grabs another one as well, so the gun's now starting to come alive, and the window play as well, getting so much damage down onto Waffle. Defrex picking that one up. Now we're suddenly in a position where Leviathans are at a very significant man disadvantage, and Team Valence has so much time to work with here. They can really go wherever they want on the map right now.
Yeah, they can, but let's not forget, Team Valence, they had a man advantage earlier on and lost it, so they're going to have to be careful. P. Loudy, that's what I mean, taking on Unstoppable. Lemon going to get taken out by Roe as well.
Oh, no.
Wolf going to get down too, and this is what I was saying. This is essentially a 2v2 as Psychic's going to be taking a ton of damage. Case is down. Wolf is on the ground, no way to get him up, except the old school classic way. Defrex got caught throwing a drone, luckily no damage done. Psychics, though, he will be able to get one, and it's all going to come down to P. Loudy. Sees the gun of the Sophia, going to be able to get it onto Defrex. Psychics, he's actually going to be able to pick up Osa here. 2 guns are better than 1. We're going to have to see if P. Loudy on the Wamai can get it done. He is going to be able to drop Psychics. Oh, no. But Wolf, what a swing, able to get the kill and get the round for Valence. A great round there. P. Loudy, though, doing his absolute best. Valence able to take the round and tie things up once again.
And what a scary round to have that large of an advantage and to start seeing P. Loudy start bringing those numbers back. Oh, that's not a position you want to be in if you're a Valence fan. I know my heart was just kind of going a little bit there, but Team Valence do end up picking up that round, and I think very importantly, if you look at the scoreboard now, it's a tie game. We're 4-4. That lead from Leviathans is, well, it's completely evaporated at this point. They only really had it that first half of their attack, and well, if these defenses continue going about 50-50, we could see some overtime come out here. And unlike the Berlin Major, we do have infinite overtime, so we could be here for quite a while if these two teams can't shake each other. But right now, Valence, they're starting to pick up the pace. These guns are coming alive as well. At this point on Cafe, Defrex, Psychics, and Unstoppable only had about 4 kills, and well, they've blown that bar out of the water by about 3 times. So it's good to see these guns coming alive on Valence, as well as you see that communication coming out too. Sure, they botched it a little bit by pushing the envelope just a touch too fast there, overstepping their own boundaries that they should have gone for there, but they were able to pick it up. And well, players like Wolf, Lemon, Defrex, they were so well in sync on that previous round, and if they go for something similar here on the exact same site, we see a site repeat, of course, we could start seeing Team Valence walk away with this and at least get themselves a round lead.
Yeah, and Lemon being the first player to hit double digits in this game. 10-5 currently, so fantastic play coming out. Did have a lot of clutch rounds early on the defensive, so take that as you will. Wolf once again going to be setting up this Osa shield. Oh, the nitro from Bro. No thank you, no bulletproof glass outside, and an opening pick for Leviathans, and a big one at that. The clutch master who won it for him last round off the board early.
It's also that utility is gone. That's 2 smoke grenades plus 2 Osa shields that are off the board, and those Osa shields did help out quite a bit in establishing at least 2 of those kills. So that being gone early is a little bit of a bad lick here for the side of Valence, but they are going for a different attack just overall, contesting outside by Geisha. Just the lighting not playing in the hands of Waffle there, but Roe grabs a kill for himself through that Geisha window, so no points of entry right now really panning out for Team Valence. And well, Waffle can see this player running back and forth, and with those alibi tags as well, Psychics is kind of stuck out here on the balcony, so he's going to get some help from Lemon, but these players, Roe as well as Waffle, just being very aggressive with it, not letting any space go towards Valence as Roe grabs the second for himself here.
Yeah, Roe with a 3K on the board. Here comes the grenade. We'll be able to finish him off. No, but Lemon and the gun does. Waffle going to be able to take him out, and it's all going to come down to Unstoppable on the Dokkaebi. The operator that's normally known for deal a ton of damage, but it's all Valence has, and you can see now, once again, Leviathans, we've kind of talked about it, the way the defenses have been playing this map. Once they get this incredible man advantage, they just swarm. They just all get back or very close to site, one of the two. None of them really are off playing anymore. They're playing for the refrag just in case. Unstoppable manages to pick one. Look at them, all 4 within the same 3 rooms. Team Leviathans trying to really take it here to Team Valence.
And they're being thorough too. They're watching cameras. They want to make sure that if Unstoppable goes for something a little cheeky, they know what he's up to here. This push up the main stairs is going to be called out. Well, that's Leviathans getting themselves that round lead back in their favor, and it's a very important time to do it too, because they've got the primary site exhibition office opening up now again, so we could probably going to head back out in that direction, and it means that we're going to skip over that first floor part of the rotation here. But if you take a look at the rounds, the next round after this, assuming that Leviathans win it, is going to have to be down there, but the Valence, they don't want to get that far, and they're bringing out this Monty again, so they are obviously very confident in that push that they went for on the balcony, getting the wall open, trying to just sneak into that corner with the Monty protecting it. Maybe they just feel like they're positioning wasn't quite in the right spot there to cover the plant. That's a pretty easy thing to rectify, assuming that you're just talking and you know what the problems are as a team. So this round, definitely very winnable in the cards of Team Valence. Leviathans, though, gonna let that be a super easy task here. They've been so good on the day, and look at that kill spread on them too. All of the players are contributing, even those, the SAS bros, as Slayzilla would call them, Mute and Smoke players. They don't normally get too much love or KD, but they're sticking in about that 1.0 mark. So every member of Team Leviathans definitely doing their part here, but you gotta say that group stage MVP, bro, he's starting to live up to that expectation that we expect from him now.
Yeah, and again, as a tried and true support player, plays a lot of mute, plays a lot of smoke. It really is kind of a thankless job, right? You're not going to be getting the most kills usually. You're kind of stuck to site reconstruction a lot of the time, and you don't really get to roam around and do a lot. So definitely a thankless job, but a job that is very necessary. Speaking of things that are necessary, Ricky, what we need everyone in chat to do right now is go grab a friend, like you said earlier. Try to get us to 200 viewers so that our boy Battery has to wear a maid dress on stream live. It would be absolutely fantastic. Please, please, please go grab your friends, grab your grandma, anybody. Let's get us to 200 viewers here. This is a great match too, by the way. We need 200 people to be watching this match.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't like this match, go find a different one. Just get the viewers in here. We want those numbers to be up. We're about a minute into this round. The wall has been opened, and the first smoke grenade thrown here. These members from Leviathans are very good at existing in kind of niche spaces. Look at that position from P. Loudy. He's in a spot that I don't think anyone's expected to being him underneath that wall that's open. Chu grabs the opening kill onto Defrex. That's the Monty down. That's the core of this attack, and it's been removed so swiftly here. Half the round still remaining, and that brick wall already been removed. That's not a good look here from Team Valence. They've got 3 frag grenades in their pocket, one being cooked by Unstoppable. It's going to be sailing out into these positions, and they've got to move these players out now in a more traditional way. But Chu, he's starting to light himself up. We talked about him not having the highest KD, but he's going to inflict that. The SAS bros both chiming in, getting all 3 kills in this round thus far. Wolf and Psychics, though, 2 players that you got to think if there's anyone that's going to do it, it's going to be these 2. Psychics, of course, are kill leader, at least from the group stage. So trying to get their mark here on the scoreboard and make this round swing back into the way of Valence.
Yeah, and we got to see their Psychics was starting to put the plant down, and then everything just went sideways for Valence, and they didn't clear out the mini bar area, just walked right in. Smoke was sitting there, SAS shotgun in hand, ready to do all the damage that needed to be done. We are going to see some smoke canister coming out. Wolf, though, going to be going down to Row, and it's all going to come down to Psychics, but Row is going to be able to finish it off. A flawless round for the Leviathans here to put them up yet again. To move us into round 11. To timeout has been called by Valence. We are going on to match point. So, a quick little conversation. Row has cracked 10 kills now as well, cracked into double digits. He's up to 13. What you would expect from our group stage MVP to be performing well on his team's map choice.
Yeah, this is a really good timeout being taken here by Valence. You know where Leviathans are going on these next 2 sites. This one's probably going to be Barbecue Kitchen, as a lot of teams at this level don't really like the bedroom-bathroom site as a 3rd site here. So it's probably going to be Barbecue Kitchen. And, well, on paper, you're expected to win that. So going forward, you can take that momentum with you to try and force this overtime. But you take a little time out here, right? You slow the tempo. You talk about how you're going to win just this next round. Because, well, past that point, you can't guarantee anything. So I'd expect Valence to have a very cohesive idea of what they want to do in this round. So a lot of that's going to be on Leviathans to try and solve and push back. But you got to remember, timeouts go both ways. So the Leviathans coaches staff as well, which is a very robust coaching staff. I honestly think it's one of the most impressive that we have in the league, just with how much they're able to get across in a short amount of time and just understand these matchups here. So giving them that time to talk as well is a little bit scary, but Valence needed that. They have to reset the tempo right here and get things going in their favor, or this series is just going to be over really before it feels like it gets started.
Yeah, we all know Team Valence, they want to be able to win this. They want to be able to take it to a map 3. They want to get into that lower bracket finals. This is the money game, as we talked about. This will guarantee you, at worst, 3rd place in the league for the season. Both teams desperately trying to get there. They ultimately want to make it to the grand finals and win that. But Valence, you've got to win 2 more rounds, and then you've got to win 2 more back-to-back. It's been stated before, we do have the unlimited OT here in the Xenon Gaming Series, so you have to be able to pull that off. Unfortunately, there's a sea monster, one would call it a Leviathan, standing in their way, and Valence, they've got a very, very tough task ahead of them.
I don't know how long you were holding on to that one, but it definitely hits. They feel like the mythical beast they're named after in this game. And, well, we get to see P. Louding playing around in that position that he was absolutely fried on at the end of the previous half, that delivery door here. And it's an operator that we haven't seen show up too much here on the defense. It's that pulse operator. And, well, I really like him showing up here at this. Think about the bomb site. It's a lot of soft flooring above the site, and that information then can be translated into lethal force with Proxies and P. Loudy both holding those nitro cells here. And Team Valence, take it a little slow at the start. They want to be able to set the pace from ground zero, or excuse me, minute 0, and getting into the building is step 1. I was talking with, I can't remember who it was, but it feels like right now on the attack, the bulk of your work is done just getting into the building. So sometimes taking positions that aren't necessarily a strong position are very beneficial just because they get you in the map.
Yeah, and there's a difference between being in the map and controlling the map, right? You can be in the map, but if you have no control, that's where things kind of start to really fall apart. And you can see now the push is starting to come through for Valence. You got a lot of players stacked up there in that dragon area. They're starting to move over. We have somebody playing in gold up top that could be devastating. It's Proxy. Does he have the shotgun in hand? He does. Going to be trying to do a lot of damage. The Frex is going to go down. The Finka boost. Going to be able to get him back up, though. P. Loudy going to be able to get the kill on the Psychic. Some flashbangs coming out here. P. Loudy will be going down to Unstoppable, so it's going to tie things back up, at least man count-wise, until Waffle decides to take the head right off of Unstoppable. Minute left. It's a 3v winnable still, but not looking good for Team Valence.
Yeah, this not the results that you'd want. And, well, the hard breach gadget not doing too much work. Those mute jammers really doing a number on the ability for that to happen. And look at the drone count as well. They've just decimated the drone counts on Valent and the player counts. Chu finds a smoke canister onto Defrex to pick up that kill. And now, well, 40 seconds left and 4 players to find here. Lemon and Wolf have the world on their shoulders if they want to try and find a piece of our prize money and continue their push forward here in the playoffs. And they've kind of restructured their attack to be a more delivery-focused affair, but Waffle reads into it. That's a death from above if I've ever seen it. Lemon's good for 1, but he's not good for more. Leviathans shut this game out before Valence can take it back into their own hands. And, oh, that's a pretty fast 2-0 for the hands of Leviathans. And with how well they've been playing today, you got to think that Outlast and Superlight, whoever ends up losing that matchup that we've got coming up later this week, they've got some good footage to look over, at least in terms of the maps for Cafe and Skyscraper. But you got to be a little bit scared of how well Leviathans look. They weren't playing anywhere near this good in their previous couple of games, so it's good to see them revive that, especially at such a pivotal time here for them.
Yeah, and especially because Valence was the one team that was able to beat Leviathans in the group stage. So there was definitely a little bit of extra kind of oomph behind this, right? Leviathans, they really, really wanted to get this win, and they did. 7-3 on Cafe, 7-4 on Skyscraper. I'll hand it to Valence. They played a lot better on Skyscraper than I thought they would. This is Leviathan's playground, and they were able to take 4 rounds. So whoever ends up having to play Leviathans later on, if they do end up going to Skyscraper, which I'm going to recommend you just ban it, right? You do have some VOD here, like you said, of what worked against the Leviathans, right? What they were able to do to get the job done for those 4 rounds. And quite honestly, some of the rounds just came down to player error, you know, not clearing things. They were very, very bad on clearance. I mean, there was at least 3 rounds that I can think of where Valence just kind of walked in and got shot, right? You will not beat the Leviathans if you're doing that. They are too good. They've been around too long. You have to play better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say that like Valence just threw it either. Obviously, they had a little bit of a rough day today, just in like the kill department. It definitely felt like they just weren't in coordination with each other. Something was just going wrong there. But Leviathans as well, they just look good and comfortable playing with each other, which is kind of what you'd expect for a roster that's been playing together for as long as they have. They've been sticking together for quite some time, at least here in the T3 space, where rosters seem to change like every month or so. So
Yeah.
it's good to see that kind of coordination and practice really paying off on their part. And speaking of the St. Louis Leviathans, we are going to be able to get ourselves an interview in a couple of minutes. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have one of the members of the Leviathans to talk about that win, earning some money, and moving forward here in the bracket. So if you're interested in that interview, stick around. Maybe he'll trash talk your team. You never know. So you gotta be here to find out. We'll see you guys then.
Get us to 200 in the break.
You showed me how to dance now. So tell me what you're thinking now.
Thank you guys for waiting through that short break. We're back and we're joined by P. Loudy from the St. Louis Leviathans. How are you doing, man? You just won an incredible series against Team Valence. Talk to me about your emotions, how you guys are feeling now.
Very excited. It was a great win. We tried to really prep for it, and
Mhm.
we had we're trialing some coaches, so that's very nice. But just being able to get in there and win, and to win 2-0, not even drop a map, it was great. So.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk to you guys about dropping maps because we've seen you guys have some struggles in recent history. You dropped 2-0 to Superlight and you lost one map last week against Fraud Watch. And you guys just in general didn't seem like you had the cohesion that we know you can have and that you really showed today. Is that just you guys been putting in the hours, or as things just started clicking a little bit better with you guys on the team? What's going on there?
Yeah, so when we lost to Superlight, that kind of gave us a kick in the butt, and after that is when we kind of started experimenting with some role
Mhm.
changes. But we also just kind of hit the grindstone. We went just started scrimming a lot, and we did the role changes, and it started to work out, and cohesion came back. And then for Fraud Watch, that was when those new role changes came in, so it was just kind of working out the kinks. And it's like we still got the dub, but we did drop a map, and we were happy, but we just wanted to clean that up. So we're very happy we came out and got the 2-0 today.
So you mentioned it. You guys got the 2-0. Cafe was map number 1. It was their pick. You guys looked very, very dominant with a 7-3 scoreline. Then you get to go to what I've been calling all night long, the Leviathan Playhouse of Skyscraper. You guys have performed very well on that map in the past. How excited were you when you got to pick it and you knew that it was going to be map 2 in the rotation tonight?
Okay, so honestly, the first time we played Skyscraper, it was a complete like one-off thing. We had barely scrimmed it, and so it being something that just was like, it clicks, it works out very well with our play style. We just can keep going, and like if we don't do something right one round, like we'll try and pick it up the next round, and it'll just keep going and keep getting better. So now that we kind of have it in our playbook, it's very nice, and it's always that map that it's like we're not afraid to go to it, and we're kind of happy to always see it, and just seeing it, it's like, oh yeah, this is exciting. Like it's a fun map, and you don't see it very much, so we just love playing it.
Yeah, it's definitely a map that's very fun to watch. I want to talk about you guys kind of going forward here in Xenon Gaming Series. Having won this match, you have earned at least some money out of it, securing third place at minimum. But with your guys' performance, obviously, you can try and reach for a little bit more of that prize pool. And I want to talk to you about that upper bracket match. We have Outlast, no longer the Academy, just Outlast versus X Superlight. Now Homeland, they got picked up by them. What are your thoughts about that kind of match, and who are you looking forward to facing coming up later this week?
Um, I think it's going to be an interesting match, seeing
Mhm.
it between those two. Uh, Personally though, I would like Homeland or Superlight to come out on top, just because I would love to get a rematch on them and just take the dub on them. But I could definitely see Outlast winning it and just taking it out right there. So I'm excited to play against either one, but probably just for a revenge tour on Homeland, that'd be awesome.
I mean,
But yeah.
speaking of revenge tour, you got your revenge on Valence tonight, who was the only team to beat you in the group stage. So I'm sure, if you're talking revenge tour, it was a great way to kick it off. You go through, now you're going to the lower bracket finals. How is just kind of the morale with the team after a big win like that? Like you said, things have kind of been rough for you in the playoffs. You've been dropping maps. You did have the loss. You win 2-0. You win very dominantly. You yourself had a fantastic series tonight. Two very, very good games. But the team as a whole just looks so cohesive. So what is kind of the morale, and how is everybody really feeling now through these two games? Is there like a sigh of relief? It's like, oh, okay, we got it. Got the monkey off our back. We know we can play this well. How's everything? How's everybody?
Definitely that kind of like, thank goodness, like it's working out. It's not like we're a dumpster fire right now. So it's glad in that sense, but I think we're very happy, but we just want to keep going, and we just want to get the dub. And so it's kind of like, great job tonight, guys, but let's keep going. Let's just keep going and keep working harder. The job's not done yet. So I think that's kind of the morale right now, but it is very high right now, probably an all-time high throughout the season.
Yeah, it's great
And
to hear that you
last,
guys. Oh, sorry.
oh,
I
no,
think
I
we're
was
I think
gonna
we're going for the same thing here. As you got any shout outs or anything you wanna go there?
exactly. Yep.
You got anyone you want to shout out? People you want to talk to? Anyone? Any messages you want to send to people you got coming online? The floor is yours. Take about a minute.
Okay, so I guess I'll put up some Twitters. So I have my whole team. So at Row is short. Mine is at _ P Loudy or P _ Loudy. We have at Waffle _ at Proxies, at Chew _ R6 and at Nepsy R6 and then at Velo _ however many underscores. And I think that's about it. Oh, and at St. Louis Leviathans or something like that. Well, that's it.
Yeah, just start putting
Leviathans
underscores. You'll
_
eventually
GG.
get the right one.
I know, right? Just ____.
Yeah,
There you go.
eventually you'll find the right one. But once again, P Loudy, congratulations, GG's to you and the rest of your team. You're going to be moving on to that lower bracket finals. You're in the money, but I know you guys are hungry for more. You got to feed that beast, that sea
Oh, yeah.
monster, the Leviathan. Tomorrow night, everyone, we are back 9 p.m. Eastern with the upper bracket finals. So we are going up against Outlast and again Homeland, the X Super Light roster. So make sure you stop by. The loser of that match will be playing against the team that you just saw here tonight. Get the 2-0 victory, the St. Louis Leviathans. Thank you all so much for coming by. I am Crisis. This is Mystrierik, and for everyone here at Xenon Gaming Series, we thank you. We hope you stay well, and we'll see you in the next one.